2001, I was an undergrad. And like most people at that point in life, trying to figure out who I was and who I wanted to be. I was at art school. It was a situation I felt slightly trapped in. I felt like the expectations didn't quite fit me, and I was feeling slightly lost. By no means was my life falling apart. I wasn't dramatically failing at life, but at the same time, I wasn't dramatically succeeding either. I was simply stuck in a rut. A friend gave me a gift voucher for one of London's top hairdressing salons. A free haircut. Great. I found a picture of a woman with a haircut I had never seen before. She looked cool and confident. She looked chic and interesting and edgy, all of the things that I wanted to be. With picture in hand, I went to the hairdresser and I showed her. And I asked, "Do you think I can pull this off?" Her eyes lit up. "Yes," was her reply. And without even washing it first, she lifted up my hair and snip. 10 inches of my hair fell to the ground in slow motion. As I wondered, what have I just done? 60 minutes later, I stepped out of the salon, feeling exhilarated. I felt noticeable, bold, brave. I had taken a leap. The dramatic haircut I had just got was a mohawk. The reactions I received to my daring move were varied. My friends were in awe of my bold move, but still kind of surprised. My art colleagues all of a sudden thought I was like 10 times cooler. My parents, yeah, that was a different story. They had a minor freak out and set about reminding themselves, hair grows back, hair does grow back. I'm pretty sure many people thought I was crazy, and who knows, maybe they were right. But there were days when I didn't feel as confident as my hair made me look, but for the most part, I loved this striking but temporary change I had made. And it turned out that this was the first of many mohawks for me, because since then, getting a mohawk has come to represent anything that is risky but not permanent and helps me become more of who I want to be. A few years later, I had dramatically left my job, sold my car, sold most of my belongings, moved out of my apartment, and fled the country. All for love. Which, by the way, did not work out. But that's another story for another day. So, I found myself a little heartbroken. And I found myself at a crossroads. Again, feeling a little lost. The path that obviously made sense was to go home. Be near my parents, be near my friends, be near my family. Take the solid job offer that was waiting for me at home. To buckle down and rebuild my life in London. I knew what I really needed was another mohawk. A few months later, I moved to China. I had never been to China before. I didn't speak the language. I had never done the job I was moving there to do. I didn't know a soul. That first night there, I had a few moments of agony, worrying, what if I don't like the food? What if I don't like the job? What if I can't do the job? What if I don't make friends? What if I can't make it here? I knew this time everybody thought I was crazy. I think they thought that I was running away from something, and they may have been a little bit right. But mostly, I knew I was running towards something. I reminded myself that just like the Mohawk, this felt risky, but it wasn't irreversible. Just like the Mohawk, this was helping me become more of who I wanted to be. That year in China turned out to be the ultimate adventure, filled with everything an adventure should be. The job was challenging and brilliant. The people were wonderful and so kind, and I fell in love with the country. I even loved the food. But it was that move to China that changed me forever and changed me for the better. My ultimate Mohawk happened right here at BYU on the MBA program. The business school here has a great network and a great career center. They've walked thousands of business students through the rigors of interviewing and securing internships. Internships with Fortune 100 companies, with giants of the business world, with some of the most prestigious employers of MBAs. They've created a well-beaten path to success. I decided I wouldn't take the well-beaten path. I know you're surprised at this point. Even though it would have been simpler and safer, I just couldn't seek a job with one of those firms because to me, that would have felt like signing up to become somebody else. So I did something different, and I did something that would help me become more of who I wanted to be. I started out with no networks, no connections, no idea of how to get the internship I wanted. When about 50% of my colleagues had their internships tied up, finalized, I was still researching. When about 90% of my colleagues had their internships, I had maybe 2 leads. It was a week before the end of the semester that I got my internship offer. I went to work with a social entrepreneurship organization called Ashoka, and it was an incredible experience. I found my field, and I found friends for life. That internship got me the job that I have right now. Thanks to this Mohawk, I have a job that is challenging and rewarding and fulfilling. I'm doing work that is a privilege and a pleasure. I have a job that fits me like a glove. And stepping back, I realize it took every one of my Mohawks to get me here, and I'm sure there will be plenty more. Now, I'm not saying be reckless. Reckless doesn't help anybody. I am saying be bold. Have the courage to take action that feels right, even if it causes a little bit of concern. Thoughtfully getting a Mohawk on a regular basis has opened up opportunities and paths that I could not have imagined previously. I know I am absolutely on the path to becoming who and what I want to be. So, next time you're feeling lost, you feel like you're becoming someone else, or you're simply stuck in a rut, be bold. Try getting a Mohawk. And remember, I said a Mohawk, not a tattoo. Thank you.